YouTube. I don't know if this view will be nice or not, but it might be what we're getting. Gonna do a little sand casting today out of some silver coins. Not coins, rounds, I guess. We'll melt them up, make some goodies out of them. Today I think we're going to be doing a little alien. I carved that out of wax years ago. I'm going to try this. The details on this Coke bottle aren't very deep, but we'll give her a shot. I got a little camera. I think I've made one of these before, so it should turn out nice. I don't know if we'll be doing all these on camera or not, but we'll see. I got the little bar of silver here. Or it's not silver yet, but it will be. A little gummy bear thing. Little mushroom. I haven't made the single mushroom before. I have made the double. Oh, here we go. I'll be using red clay, Craig's red clay, from DIYcastings.com. His stuff, it's like Petrobond, it's like Delft clay, however you pronounce it. But I like it. I like it the most out of any of those that I've used. But you can get sand casting done with, just filtered fine sand and some water. That's what I did for my first pour. But no viewers, so I think I'm just going to get to work breaking up the sand right now. What should we start with today? Let's do the little mushroom guy. Or will these fit in there? Or we'll try the mushroom guy first. So I'm going to pack this with sand. Get 18 viewers, nice. Jeez, that came on quick. Hello all. I'm just putzing around. Gonna be making some silver trinkets. Stick around, I'll be pouring some molten silver. But it probably won't be very entertaining other than that. We'll give her a shot though. Right now, just packing half of a cope and a drag. Some people call them flasks. And then I like doing it in a cookie tray. Most people do. It kind of contains all the overspill and you can clean it up easily. So let's see how this goes. Typically after the first layer, you like to powder it. That way nothing will stick when you do the next layer of sand. Or when you're pushing in your object. So this is where we'll be pouring from. I'm going to do this little mushroom here, I think. And so yeah, I'm going to pour it from like this. So I want to place it to this pour spout like that. So now this is the trickier part. You want to kind of push it in there about halfway, and then we'll put the other half together. This is where parts can break if they're fragile, so you got to be careful. You just want to go about halfway, as even as you can. tack the sand around it before we add our second layer. Add some more parting powder. Blow off the excess. Let's do half number 2. Hello, viewers. Whoa. Now this is typically the moment of truth, if you can separate or not. Thank you, Mario Silver. That's how it works. We did lose a chunk there. I may be able to put that back in. Did fall, so now if we're careful, that's not very careful, may be able to work its way back where it's supposed to be. And for what this is, if there's any, little defects from doing this, it's a mushroom. All mushrooms are different, right? So I think it'll turn out just fine. Now to get the other side apart. This is the tricky part. When shapes are weird shaped, sometimes you gotta fidget a little bit. There we got most of it. Few chunks broke out, but that'll be fine. So now I got a negative space for the silver to fill in. And I got a couple tools where I can try and doctor it up a little bit. Thank you, Mario Silver. I have fun doing it. Hopefully it turns out all right. I think it shall. Now, this is where I'll be pouring the silver, so I'll make a little channel for that. This is only my second live, so I'm sure I'll be messing something up, but that's okay. I did have my phone plugged in this time. I do have my phone plugged in this time, so phone dying shouldn't be an issue like it was last time. side. Now I got the pour channel cut. I'll be wanting to cut some vents, because when you pour in molten metal, all this air has to go somewhere, so you got to cut in some little vents. I'll poke a hole through it. Maybe one in the middle here. Well, we'll see if that works. If not, we'll try her again. So I'm going to do a few molds before I end up pouring anything. Make sure everything lines up nice. That should take some silver nicely. Hopefully we get a cool little mushroom out of the deal. Yes. Excuse me. I'll clamp that together so we don't lose that. I'll put that aside. So we got that one made. What should we try next? Let's do the little alien dude. I made this one years ago, so I'm gonna make a copy of him. I wear him on my necklace, but I'm just gonna make a little figurine. So let's do him. I'll have to get the little bigger flask out, I believe. Yep. I don't think this one is much. Let's try decorating. Alrighty. Alien Man. I don't expect to have many viewers, so anyone sticking around, I appreciate you. It's kind of killing time today. It's kind of hot and muggy out, so we gotta work on some random silver stuff. Alright, a little powder. Now we'll put this guy in there and we'll make a copy of him. That should be good. So now I'll push them about halfway, and then when I put the other half on, that'll fill up the other half. Maybe push his legs in a little too far. Well, we can fix that. That'll be alright. Like I said, it's not going to be the most entertaining video, but if you guys are interested, keep on watching. Right now I'm just making sure all the sand is packed in the nooks and crannies nicely. It should be good enough. So now I'll put the other half on them and make the negative. Sometimes I'll use like a sieve here to grind up the sand to get some finer details. I think a lot of people do that. The back doesn't matter. The front, I want the details to be a little more prevalent. You don't need much either, just enough to cover the figure. And the rest you can do it the other way. Just throwing some sand in there. Just beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. So if everything went properly, I should have a nice negative in there. And here's the fun part. Alright, what do we get here? Well, that looks pretty good. So there's the negative of his face and his abs. Now we got to pull this side out. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's not. That time it was easy. I did carve him out of wax pretty symmetrically, so he did come out of the sand relatively easy. Now some more pour channels. A little place for the sprue for the molten metal to flow in. And you just grind it off later. Make it pretty. After you cut it, you want to kind of smooth it all out so no loose sand enters the mold while pouring. Like I said, it's probably not the best camera view, but it's about the best I can do, given my space and circumstance. Let's see here. What am I looking for? Where is my knife? One second. I swear I just had it. I swear I just had it. MIA. Well, we'll have to do without it. This'll work. Just gonna cut a channel here. I'll probably do it on this side here. This one. So I'll do the pour spout here too. smoothing it out for a smooth transition from liquid to solid goodness. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. So I'm going to cut a little channel here, and this is just for alignment, not alignment, but venting. I'm going to add some vent channels going here. Alright, now I'm just going to add some vents to some of these nooks and crannies. If you don't add vents, the silver will be restricted by the air that is left behind in there. You got to allow as that silver comes in, it pushes out the air, and you get a cleaner cast. So typically all the appendages should get at least one. Probably do the shoulders too. And, you know, maybe one on the head, just to be safe. That will do too. Now that should be enough to let the silver fill in the void and let the gases to escape. Make sure there's nothing in the mold cavity. This one should be pretty good. And this one looks pretty good. So that's what it looks like after everything. Got his front and his back. His nice little booty. Everything should line up as you put it together. Give her a little clamp together. Like I said, I'll make a few molds and then I'll be pouring once I get a few of them made at least. Alright, now so I got one of these made, and I got one of these made, so what else should I do? Should I try this little Coke bottle? I think it's going to be kind of tough. The details are really, not very deep, so I don't know if they'll show up very well. But we'll give her a shot. Alrighty, I'll use a little one for this, I think. Gosh, I would think so. Now, do I want to pour it from the bottom or the top? Probably the bottom. Yeah. Alright, mold number 3. I'm surprised I have 6 viewers. Thank you guys. Even if you're stopping by for 2 seconds, you never know. Might interest you. Alright. So now I want to powder it. Prevents anything from sticking. I think we're going to try, we'll try this little Coke bottle guy. See how that goes. So I want to pour it from the bottom here, I think. Or should I do the top? I don't know. Might not be big enough for the bottom. Might have to go to the top. Or maybe I'll go to a bigger mold. Bigger flask. You know? Yeah. Maybe we'll do something else in here. Will this camera work? This camera's kind of cool. Try this out, I think. How do we want to pour it, though? I pour it into the bottom here. I think that'd probably be the best bet. So, yeah. I'll give this a little extra powder as well. There's a couple spots on here. It might tear out, but we'll see what we can do. You want to try to push it about halfway in between. You know, a lot of these plastic pieces, they have a parting line from the molds they were made in, so it's kind of a good starting point. May not be as straight as I'd like, but this should be okay. Alright, deep in the front. Alright. Kind of packing the sand around it, making sure everything's nice and tidy and tight. Hopefully it separates nicely, so that's the next thing. I've made this camera once before and it went okay. So let's see. This should be fine. Pack it with some sand. If anyone has any questions, feel free to type them out. I'll read them hopefully at some point. I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? 5:30, huh? In half hour, okay. I'm in Minnesota, if anyone's wondering. If anyone's like super far away, feel free to type where you're from in the chat. It's always cool to know. Alright, we'll separate the mold here. Hopefully it goes well. We will see. So there's the back half. Seemed to come out nicely. One little mishap, but I think that'll be fine. Now this will be the tougher one to get out. It's got the big long camera lens on there. This one's a little stuck, but I think it'll come. I think it'll come. Come on, baby. She's tight. She wants to come. Just about. Let's see what else we got here. We can pry her out now. I'm going to cut these little edges off anyway, so if there's any damage around there, it shouldn't matter too bad. It's just about there. Just that lens in the middle is holding on. Hopefully everything stays intact. No! It did break out. That's no good. We don't like that. But maybe it'll fall out in place. Sometimes you get lucky. Kinda. I don't know if this one will work, so might have to make a couple modifications. Hey, Cabela. My dog Cabela came down to visit. I don't know if I'm gonna get this, but it's close. Yeah, you know, I might have to try a little something else here. See if I can push everything back in there. See how close we get to it. Maybe I packed it too tight. Sometimes that's an issue. Sometimes you shouldn't have to beat the sand so hard, but we'll see. Oh, there, it still came out again. Yeah, might call this one a waste. Let's try again. Something else. Something a little easier, maybe. Let's do the Coke bottle, huh? We'll give it a shot. For all the new viewers, we're going to be pouring some silver into some goodies. Right now I have a mold packed for a little mushroom and a little alien man. I'll be pouring it once I get a couple more built up. You know, I've made little cinder blocks, little alien heads out of silver. I don't have much on hand right now. A little Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Got some headphones I think I'm gonna make. Some ear muffs or whatever you want. Headphones. Not earbuds. Headphones. I might do a little gummy bear thing here. A little tiny bar of silver. 16 viewers. What's up, y'all? That's a lot. Holy crap. I'm impressed. So, let's give her hell. Yeah, let's try the Coke bottle. Why not? I don't know, maybe after this. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do the headphones, and then maybe I'll pour 4 of them or something. Give all my patient viewers who have stuck around a viewing of some molten silver being poured. Like I said, I don't have the best camera setup, so for those of you who watch, I appreciate it. I don't feel like I'm being very entertaining, but then again, I've caught myself watching some unentertaining videos, but obviously I was obviously I was entertained. let's do some coke. Little guy here. Like I said, I don't know how well it'll work. The details aren't very deep. So, I tried making one a while back and it didn't turn out the best. Maybe this one will be different. So I'm going to pour it through the bottom, I believe. Give her a nice little push in. So you always want to go about halfway. Probably go a little bit deeper than that. Luckily, this has a little line on it from being, however it was manufactured before. And kind of makes it easy to center it up like that. And we'll add a little more powder for parting so the sand doesn't stick together or stick to the piece. Blow off the excess. Excuse me. And if you want some finer details, sometimes this will help. Meshing the sand through some screen or a sieve of some sort. And you don't do it all. You just do a little bit. Cover the piece. That's all you need. Those will fill in the nooks and crannies when the stuff behind it gets packed in. Lost some silver. It's gonna be melted soon anyway, right? Now the fun part. Seeing if it'll look nice. This shape should part pretty nicely though. Pretty clean. You can at least see the details in there, so it might work. It might work. Give her hell. See, I don't think the backside quite looks as nice because it was pushed in. You know, whatever. You only need one side to look nice, right? Especially if, like, you wear it on a necklace or something. But I think this will do. Now I'm going to cut in a pour channel here. This is where the molten metal will flow. I'll be using silver, as I stated earlier. Want everything nice and smooth and packed down for that silver to flow easily. No obstructions if possible. And I'm not a professional or anything, I'm just a little hobby guy. Likes making random things. Well, one time my lawnmower broke and I was able to fix it by sand casting a new part, so that was nice. So it does come in handy. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Where'd my needle go? Probably fell on the floor when I was hammering. Most likely. I am not prepared right now, I guess. What else we got here? This will do. Cutting in some vents now, so the silver can push out that excess air that doesn't need to be there. Where's my needle? That may have been bad. Probably fell in my garbage can. I just had it, right? Whatever. I'll get a new one. What else do I got here? Oh, this will work. I got a paper clip. That'll work just fine. I like to poke holes through. You know, give it that extra place for the oxygen or air to go. The gases. So how many more vents do I want? Probably one in the middle here. And we'll do some at the very ends. And you typically only have to vent one side of the mold. You typically want both sides having a pour hole. And like I said, nice and smooth, so the metal flows nicely. 25 viewers, jeez, what up guys? I think that's the most I've had all night that I've noticed at least. Just gonna do some silver pouring here once I make a couple molds. Well, I got a couple made. Once I make a few molds. And this is gonna be a little Coke one. I don't know if you can see the details in it or not. Hopefully it shows up. We'll see. But yeah, once you get the vents cut in and everything, you can get her ready for pouring. Make sure there's nothing in there you don't want. Put her together. Beautiful. Give her a little Jed Clampett. Meet Jed Clampett. Alright, we got 3. So the one you just saw was the Coke. I also have one made with a little alien man. And I also have one made with a little mushroom. So that's the mushroom, that's the alien man, that's the Coke. Should I make another one? Which one should I make? Should we do the headphones? We like music, right? Make some silver headphones. I've made these before, so will it fit in the small one? We better go big. Better go big with that one too. Just beat it, beat it, beat it. This is called Red Clay. It is by Craig Dabler of DIYcastings.com. You can also buy this stuff called Petrobond. Very similar. But this stuff isn't quite as fine and sticky as this stuff. I mean, this stuff is good. I'm not going to hate on Petrobond. I love it, but if you want to make nice stuff, Craig's Red Clay from DIY Castings. That's the way to go. DIY Cat. He's just a guy out of small shops, so sometimes his orders can be backed up a little bit, but it's worth the wait. Add some parting powder. And we're gonna, as you can see, I leave a towel on my, I'm always brushing off excess sand. So I use these little headphones here. I'm thinking pouring from the top is gonna be our best bet. I mean, there is some thin places here, so we could struggle with this, pouring the metal. So it might have to be vented very well. Maybe even a couple extra channels in there or something. We'll see. I think it'll. I've poured it before, but I can't quite remember how I set it up. We'll see. We'll see. As with everything, try to push it halfway in. These are a little flimsier, so they're a little more difficult. But I think we'll get them. So I don't have, currently I don't have like a 3D printer or anything. So a lot of the things I cast will be my old toys from childhood or a little trinket I find somewhere. Or, I initially carved him out of wax. I think I got it over here somewhere. Oh yeah. That was the original guy. Made him, but now I use him as the mold because I don't want to break him. This is just wax. But maybe one day I'll get a 3D printer and that'll help transform some of my ideas, I guess. I just do this as a hobby, you know. It's not for a living or anything. I mean, I do sell some of the stuff, but not very eagerly. I mean, eagerly I like to sell it, but I'm not looking to sell the stuff necessarily. I just have fun doing it. And it's just fun changing these boring silver rounds and something a little more decorative, you know. It's a little more appealing to look at sitting on a shelf. Alright, let's put on the second half and hopefully this goes well. I could push this side in a little more, you dummy. Too busy talking, right? That should be fine. Alright, that'll be fine. Sometimes there's sand where it shouldn't be. Perfect. Alright, the second half coming up. Beat it! Beat it! Beat it! Beat it! Oh! Just beat it! Beat it! Beat it! Hope you enjoy my falsetto. Tone deaf falsetto. I can't believe I have 28 viewers. You guys are cool. I'll be melting these into some goodies. They keep falling off my table because I'm pounding. I'm beating it too hard. I didn't say that, did I? Ooh. You know, I don't like it. I didn't add enough sand. I guess I'm getting too tied up with my viewership. A little more. Let's beat it some more. Let's fill in those gaps. Let's use this side. There we go. And just for shits and giggles, craps and giggles, I don't know if there's any kids watching. Alright. Maybe that worked better. And sometimes you want to push the sand in layers. I kind of just did it all at once there. Sometimes that doesn't work out very well. For all my viewers, I got a few molds packed back here. We're going to be making a little alien man with silver. We're going to try this one. I don't know if this one will work or not, but we'll try it. And then we got a little mushroom there. We're going to make that out of silver as well. This one had some issues with pulling the mold apart, so might not be the prettiest, but we'll make it pretty. Alright, let's see if that worked out better. You know, I still don't like it. See, I might have it a little too close. So, I think I'm gonna, this is still good. I'm gonna restart this side. Kind of a bummer when you have to do that, but better do that than to waste time melting silver and pouring it. So I'll take it a little easier this time. A little more parting powder. And I'll fill it up a little slower. Kind of make sure I get into those little nooks and crannies a little bit that I was having trouble with. You know, sometimes if you're rushing, it works. Sometimes if you're rushing, it does not work. And then you end up wasting more time. In the long run, right? Any of my viewers in a different country other than the United States? If so, I would love to know. Now we'll add another layer. And now we'll, as Michael Jackson would say, beat it, beat it, beat it. Alright, let's see if this works better. Maybe I should have just did that in the first place, right? Alright, moment of truth. Oh, looking good, looking good. Alright, you know, it looks a hell of a lot better than it did before. Still not perfect though. But, you know, should I send it? Should I send it? I could have done a better job, but I think, you know, I think it's gonna work though. Yeah, let's send it, right? Who cares? Beat it out, beat it out. It's coming. It's coming. Coming. Not quite though. Do I got a plier somewhere? Come now. Not yet. Oh, just about. There it came. Yeah. Well, I swear, if you were just listening to the audio of this, it wouldn't sound very nice. Or appropriate. Alright, so now where the silver's going to come in, we'll make some pour channels. This one I'm going to make a little wider, since I want more silver to be flowing at once. Smooth it all out. Yeah, Sunday today, huh? Who's got to go back to work tomorrow? Not me. I took tomorrow off, actually, so sorry to rub it in. But I do work Tuesday and Wednesday, and I did take Thursday and Friday off because Friday is 4th of July. We actually get that off, but I took Thursday off. Probably do some golfing. Maybe do some sand casting. Oh, wait. I know what I'm going to do. We're going golfing. We're also going to see Incubus. They're playing on the 5th in Minnesota. I think it's at Treasure Island Casino or something. I don't know. My brother has the tickets, so that's what we're doing over 4th of July weekend. So that'll be fun. Only got to get through a couple more days of work this week. Want this pour channel to be nice and smooth. Don't want any loose sand falling in if it doesn't have to. Makes more work for you in the end if you're cleaning it up. Gosh, I need some vents. Probably cut them into this other side here. This is more sturdy material right now. So you need vents in when you're pouring sand casting. The hot metal causes gases to form, and all that extra air that's in there's got to get pushed out. So that's why we cut in some little vents. I am, self-taught, all pretty much YouTube and reading articles and Instagram. I started casting, I believe it was late 2017 or maybe it was 2018. Might have been 2018. And it was just random stuff. I made my first batch of casting sand myself. And then I was hooked. I did one pour with it, and then I was hooked. And I bought the good stuff. I might have to take a break. Looks like my dog's got to go outside and go potty. You gotta go potty? You wanna go potty? Oh yeah. I'll be right back, fellers. We'll be right back after these messages. My dog's gotta pee. Come on, man. And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Viewership dropped, but that's okay. They'll be back. I had to go let my dog out. And she took a nice little pee. My dog is a little 13-year-old. Half Jack Russell, half poodle. And she is one cute dog. If you go look at my videos, she likes to go on scooter rides with me. Put little goggles on her, she rides around. She loves it. Feel free to ask any questions, anyone. I'll do my best to answer them. Alright, so where else do I want some vents? Maybe I'll do some in the middle here. And as I said earlier, all these vents allow the extra gases that are formed with the molten metal to escape. Just cleaning up some spots I don't like. Well, let's do 2 more vents down here, just to be safe. Alright, so we're doing some headphones. Hopefully these turn out. We will see. See if my poor channel is big enough. You know, I think that should be okay. It might not work though, and if it doesn't work. Then we'll try again. You know what I'm saying? And as the others, we will give this one a Jed Clampett. Here's Jed Clampett. Alright, for the new viewers, we have a few molds packed. Might actually pour them. So we got a Coke bottle. We have an alien up there. We have a little mushroom. And we have these headphones that we're going to be making out some pure silver. Gosh, should I pack another one or should I pour? You know, I only got 12 viewers, so maybe I'll wait till I have more till I pour. Yeah. What else can we pack? One more? What's a little one? Maybe we'll just do a little one. Let me do this. Bar? Maybe teddy bear? Yeah, I think we'll try this bar. That might be kind of cool. That's just going to be a little bit of silver though. Maybe we'll add something with it. Maybe we'll do a couple at once. We can try that. Let's try it. Never know till you try, right? I just wanna fly. Baby. Who sings that? Just beat it, beat it, beat it. Alright. Alrighty then. So, anyone in the chat want to share what some of their hobbies are? As you can see, I like pouring little silver trinkets. I like golfing. I recently made a little golf necklace pendant, which I'm going to give to my brother, but I might have to make one for myself as well. Let's see if we can do a couple things in this one. So I might want to try this bar. Just new mold I put together yesterday, because it'll be out of silver, so it'll be a silver bar. Right? Or, like a casino, bar. Gambling. Where my gamblers at? I like to gamble, but I probably shouldn't, right? Should we try the grenade, or should we do the teddy? Maybe we'll do the teddy bear. I don't know. What should we try? Maybe I'll try the grenade. Yeah, we'll try it. Alright, got that about halfway in. So now this one's a little different. This little ring here is going to make it a little trickier. Hello, is that Saeed? Saeed, is that how you say your name? What's up? Thanks for watching. So this one I'll have to do a little differently, I believe. Yeah, let's see what happens. It might work. Actually went pretty well, actually. I think I'm going to trim this a little bit. Clean out some of this. Whoops. Now, pack that a little bit. Never poured this little grenade before, but we'll give her a shot, right? Never know until you try. Never know until you try. Well, I hope all you wonderful people are having a beautiful day today. I am enjoying myself, talking to a bunch of beautiful souls watching me. Alright, let's put this one back in there. So we got the bar and the grenade. So if you can see that little grenade with the pin that you pull, I had to make a little cutout just with how it is, so it doesn't rip out the sand when I go to pull it later. So then I'll add some powder again. This just helps with separation. Blow off some excess. Then we'll pack the other side. And we'll see if we can get a couple good pours. Alright. Might want to sieve it a little bit. Get the fine granules through there. Pick up those good details. I think I've been pretty steady, around 15, 20 viewers, and I'm impressed. So thank you all for spending some time with me. My name is Brandon. Nice to meet you. Beat it, beat it, beat it. My foreman at work always yells that when he's hammering on stuff. I picked that up from him. "26 viewers. What up?" Alright, let's see how this one comes out. So I did lose a little in between the grenade handle there, but I should be able to clean that up with a saw. So, get this little guy out of there, hopefully. Sometimes tapping it helps release it too. It's moving. Let's see if she comes out. She came out nicely. Came out nice. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. That's nice. It's backwards in my thing, but since this is mirrored, it's showing it properly. We got a little grenade imprint there. And a bar. So we're going to make a silver bar and a silver grenade. Now to get this one out. Maybe it'll be easy, maybe it won't. We will see. That shouldn't be too bad. That shouldn't be too bad. There we go. This side has the pin in it. So should work out. Now this is where the molten silver will be flowing, so I'll cut the channel for that. And that's where the metal will be flowing. You always want it to be nice and smooth after. Alright, so there's one side. Let's do the other. I should have some music going, huh? If anyone's watching, feel free to type in your favorite type of music. Right now I've been really heavily into Aesop rock. I've been into Del the Funky Homo Sapien and Deltron 3030. Love all classic rock. Love all, you know, heavy metal. I like a lot of music. I typically just don't listen to like country music. 17 viewers, what up, y'all? Thanks for spending time with me. My name is Brandon. I go by the original BMB. I am also on Instagram and see lots. That's actually where you see a lot of my finished products. I don't know if anyone here. We got 4 molds made here. We got a little Coke bottle. We're gonna try to pour. This one's difficult, just because the details aren't fine. We got a little alien man we'll make. We got a little mushroom in there we're gonna make. Got some headphones we're gonna make. So should be fun. This one we're doing a little silver bar and a little grenade. So now I got to cut some vents to allow the gases to escape. So now I'm just going to connect some certain points. And it just allows the silver to push out the extra gases while it's flowing. Definitely increases your chance of a successful pour. Yeah, just gonna go in some random areas where you think the nooks and crannies are kind of tight. Is that French? Whatever that means. Hello. Just a dumb American here. I don't know any other languages other than English. Couple Spanish words. But that's okay. I appreciate you viewing. I guess I know bonjour. But I don't even know if that's, you know, I'm not good with languages, so I don't even know if that's French. If it isn't, my apologies. But I appreciate your viewership. Gosh, you know, if that's not enough, I'll always think it should have been. Alright, we got silver bar and a little grenade we're going to be pouring out of this. Thank you. Alright, you know, it's not perfect, but I might get the job done. We'll give her hell. Like I said, if it doesn't work, I always thought that it would. I will have always thought that it should have. Okay. I think we're gonna have some fun now. Pour some molten metal. We'll see how many of them work out. You know, sometimes I've done this and none of them work out. But we'll give her a chance. We'll give her a shot. Clean up some stuff I don't need around. It's gonna get hot. It's getting hot. As you can see, it's been hot before. Alrighty. So which ones we want? So this will be. Gosh, I would think an ounce would probably pour both of those. We'll try an ounce. We'll do this one. We'll do this one first. Brand new crucible. Have it seasoned and glazed. So should go pretty well. And then which one do we want to do next? I don't even remember what this one was. The mushroom. So mushroom was probably an ounce as well. So we'll put that aside for that. And then I think this was the Alien Man. Alien Man should need a little over an ounce, probably. Here's an old button, so I'll do an ounce in that for the Alien Man. Oh, I'm getting notifications. Alright, here we go. So then, I don't remember what these are. What's this one? We got headphones. And that's the headphones. What was the other one? What was the other one? Oh, the Coke bottle. This must be the Coke bottle. Coke bottle, headphones, that's over an ounce. The Coke, or the headphones is. Sorry, I'm just doing some math in my head to figure out what I'm going to need to melt. We'll probably do this one for the headphones. And then Alien headphones. Coke? Will the 1 ounce be enough for Coke? Probably. So I'll put them in order of where I'm going to melt them, so I don't get them confused. 1 ounce, 1 ounce. This one. Gosh, I can't remember what this one was. Hate when that happens. That's the Alien. Okay, okay. He's just an ounce and a little button. I think he comes out to like 20 some grams, but the little bit of extra metal allows to fill in some of those details a little more. So we'll do this for this Alien headphones. So that's this one. And then Coke bottle. Coke bottle. All right. So let's get this stuff set up over here now. Oh, we'll start off with a little 1 ouncer. Alright, gotta get this set up properly. This doesn't work. Works like half the time, so gotta use a lighter. There, we got her. I like to use 2 torches, so I'll use one to kind of preheat the bottom of the crucible. And I have another one over here. That will give her hell lift. I don't know if you'll be able to see, just with the camera angles and whatnot, but I'll do my best. Maybe I can reposition a little bit. That might help. We'll see. Now you can't see the molten metal. As you can see, I'm not a professional. Just a hobbyist. Alright. Just about to start melting. There it goes. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. Just starting to melt. First one always takes the longest. Everything's got to get up to heat. Once that crucible gets warm, it goes a lot better. Graphite stir stick. Helps get some impurities out if there are any. Also some borax helps it flow better. Getting there. I don't know if you can see that. You want it nice and warm when you pour. You don't want it cooling too fast. You want it rolling nicely in that crucible. That's why I like heating the bottom too, because it helps it roll better. Alright, let's do the first pour. Let's see if this works. Alright, I might have poured it a little too slow, but we'll see. We'll do ounce 2. Just pour a little, it's smoking. We'll see on the reveal if it works. This one's getting close to melting already. There it goes. About ready for number 2 now. Rolling around. Perfect. That one went good. I poured that one a little faster. Now I believe we're doing the alien next. It does start getting warm on my fingers. I should probably have some leather gloves on. But I have a background in welding. Kind of used to hot hands. There she goes. It is a real beautiful sight watching it melt. Wish the camera picked it up better. I don't even know if you guys can hear me because this torch is loud, so if you can't, whatever, right? It's getting hot. It's getting hot here, so take off all your clothes. I am getting too hot, I'm gonna take my clothes off. Alright, let's do the alien, man. headphones next. Look how pretty that's solidified. That's nice. "36 viewers. What up, guys and gals?" Now we're pouring the headphones, I believe. Yep. Well. My hand is getting warm. Just about there. This one I might have a little too much silver in, so this one might spill over. We'll see. Give it a nice stir around. Still some solid chunks in there, so heat it up for a little more yet. Anyone in chat ever pour metal? It's pretty fun. Dangerous, but when all the proper precautions are being taken, I don't have my safety glasses on, so pretend you don't see that. But it's fun. Perfect. Nice. Love when it works out. Perfect amount of silver. Right up to the top. One more pour. Hopefully they all work. Thank you. Pome Fuji? Pome Fui? I don't know how to pronounce that, but thank you. My French friend. Liquid silver is so beautiful. It looks like liquid mercury, but 1,000 degrees hotter, 2,000 degrees hotter. Damn near. Nice heavy metal. More of us need to be carrying silver in our pockets. Just that feel of real money. I wish they still made our U.S. coins out of silver. Alright, one more pour. Let's go. Let's hope it works. I believe this is a Coke bottle. It's quiet. It's quiet. Can you imagine? Well, I would say I didn't choke. A lot of times I'll be shaky, or all those pours went pretty well. Get all this stuff out of the way, and let's start opening them up. We'll do the first one. You know, I don't have much hope in this one because I poured it too slow. But we will see. This was also the double banger, so we'll see if both of them worked or not. You know what? I can tell it's cold. It wasn't. I either poured it too slow, or you can just see there's cooling lines, or my vents weren't big enough. But the grenade's looking decent, filled up. See, this is why we cut vents. As you can see right at the handle, that's where the silver was pushing out that extra air. If I wouldn't have had this vent here, that probably wouldn't have filled up in there. But overall, so far, I'm happy with this. Let's see the other side of the silver part. You know, it didn't fill in there, so not the best. It was too cold. My fault. Looks like the grenade worked. Alright, let's see. Might as well cool it off. It's not even hot anymore. Not even hot anymore, and I'm worrying about it. So, this did not turn out how I wanted, this bar. But, I'll probably keep it anyway. Because you can still read it. But it was definitely too cold. But hopefully as I poured on, everything got hotter. But that grenade looks pretty good. The handle got a little cold. Hard to see. But, yeah, I think it'll work out. I think so. Clean up some extra. So now this extra silver here I'll cut out with a saw. That only filled in there because when I pulled the mold apart, it came out with it. But that's why we have saws and other tools. So otherwise, I'm pretty happy with that grenade. So, there's the first thing we poured out of silver. So after I do one, I'll scrape out the black stuff. The burnt sand. So we can reuse this sand except the black stuff. I always just scrape that off. And we'll just toss that in the garbage. Just burnt sand. And then the rest of it should be good to use again. So eventually, a small amount of casting sand, if you're doing small casts like this, can last you a long time. So there's a little black in there. Sometimes you can even try to brush some of it out. If you're not that fussy, it all gets mixed back in. As long as you get the majority of it. And then, don't want to waste a bunch of good sand, so that's why you kind of take it easy and just kind of scrape nicely. No right way, no wrong way. Only your way. Right? Yeah. Alright, there's one. What are we opening next? Well, let's do the big one right in front of me. I think this is the headphones, or is this the alien? This might be the alien. Ooh, look at that butt. Staring you right in the face. Look at that butt. Look at that butt. Turned out pretty well so far. There might be some spots I don't like, but we'll find that out here in a second. Alright, sorry, I was scraping some of this off. Alright, here we go. Let's see what she looks like. Overall, very happy with this pour. Minimal porosity, if any. Face turned out pretty well. Just some cleanup now, and these are where all the air vents came off of. So we got a good one there. We got one out of two good ones here. And we'll scrape this stuff clean here. Sorry for the boringness of this part of it, but it's all the name of the game. I have been live for an hour and 42 minutes. Wow. Never done it this long before. Thank y'all for sticking by and watching. And keeping me company. So, usually when I talk to myself, that's weird. I can talk to myself now and at least I have an excuse. Having an audience full of beautiful people. The thing is, public speaking, ooh, that'd be tough. Speaking in front of a camera, that's a little easier. That's a little easier. Alright. Pretty good there. I'm just kind of breaking it all up as I'm putting it away. Alright, what's next? This, I think, is the headphones. There's going to be some cleanup on these, I believe, but you know, it might not be too bad. You know, it might not be too bad. You know, I'm happy as hell with that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is the one I had to redo the mold as I was packing it, but you know, it turned out pretty good. Little headphones. Get those all polished up. They'll be looking cool. Yeah, what up, dude? Alright, so happy with that one as well. Gotta be careful, silver is really fragile when it's freshly poured. It'll bend very easily, but you should be able to straighten it out pretty easily too. And then silver hardens, so as you move it slowly, just little micro movements, you can feel it get harder and harder to bend. So I like to do that with some of my thinner silver things. But yeah, that's gonna be a good one. I am extremely happy with this. So we got two good ones here. Alien, some headphones. Grenade's good. This one I'll probably actually remelt. I don't know. We'll see. And then we got two more to open. Two more to open. Let's scrape these clean. See if the other two turn out. It's always fantastic when they work out. Just a great feeling. Just a fun feeling. There's a little piece of silver there. Alrighty. So when I started casting for fun, silver was about $14, $15 an ounce. Now what is it, like 26, 25, 26, or 35, 36? So yeah, about $21 more per ounce than when I started just 7 years ago, somewhere in there. I like pouring silver. I'm sure I'd probably like pouring like bronze or something too, but I don't know. I'm gonna pour something and might as well have it some monetary value in my eyes, I guess. Little silver trinkets. Alright, so got that half clean. Anyone go to any concerts lately? Feel free to type them in the chat. I'm going to see Incubus next Saturday. Got a long drive to go see that, but I think it'll be fun. Alright, we got that one cleaned up. Like I said, 2 more to open. Let's see what else we got here. 2 more to open. Get some of this stuff out of my way. Alright, little big, little big, little big. Let's do little. What was this one again? Oh yeah, the mushroom. Forgot about the mushroom. There's a little bit of negative space in that mushroom. That's why I had some issues separating it, but I think it went together quite well. Beautiful. I think I'll be able to clean that up decently. A cute little mushroom. I'm happy with that. Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Alright, that looks clean. Perfect. Thank you. Break this up, mix it in with the rest. All right. One more to open, guys and gals. Excuse me. Excusez-moi. Hey, this... You know, I didn't have high hopes for this. Simply because the Coke just... The details weren't pronounced enough. But, you know, it's a nice clean pour at least. You can at least kind of tell what it is. Right? Yeah, you can kind of see, I guess. So it's, you know, that's a pretty good one. You know, I could make that into a little necklace or something. yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So as you can tell, a little temperature change. It's a little more rough on one side, but then like the silver was a little cooler up here when it hardened because it's a little more mirror finished. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. Overall, we had a pretty successful pour session. 2-hour pour session, building molds and pouring some metal. Yeah, it's fun. I'm glad, somebody has stuck around way longer than I thought. My French friend. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. I'm not necessarily quitting yet, but I don't know how. Maybe I'll cut these apart on camera, and we'll see. I am getting a little hungry. Chicken sounds good. I might have to get myself some chicken. Oh, some fried chicken sounds good. All right, done with this for a little bit. Okay, I'm just dumping this tray in the garbage. All that burnt black sand. So these are called like sand casting flasks, or a cope and a drag is like the proper terminology. But yeah, all over eBay, all over Amazon. DIYcastings.com provides red clay. You can also get some cheaper options on eBay or Amazon, but the red clay is fantastic. Okay, so these are what we poured. Little Coke bottle, as you lately saw. Some of these, this didn't work out. A little grenade. We'll just have to saw out that extra stuff. That'll be nice. Turned out quite well. And the headphones. Happy with those. Happy with those. Look, that's almost like a double mushroom. That's kind of like an inception mushroom. This is just like my pour. But it kind of looks like a double mushroom. My motherfucking mushroom got a mushroom. Pardon my French. Oh, da, 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 da. Yeah, I am happy with all these. The alien man, can't forget him. What's up, y'all? I come in peace. I come in peace. Excuse me while I clean up some of this junk. Yeah, I had a little spill there one time. Landed here on my tray. It totally burnt that table up. Okay, so after about this fact, this is where we get to come over to the saw and saw some sprues. Cut some sprues loose. I got some screws loose. Ugh. Some people, they like to put a tray under them when they cut, catch all the silver dust. I'm not going to have that much dust right now, to be honest, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I don't know if it's tuned properly. A little bit of grease here will help the saw flow through the silver. Alright, let's cut. You know, I'm probably going to remelt this, so I'm not even going to cut that off. But we'll cut this grenade off. Probably going to be hard for you guys to see. I'll try to hold it so you can see it, but it might be a little difficult. That doesn't go too bad. It goes pretty quick. Minimal cleanup with a file or a little sander. And to be honest, I should have cut this out first. Dummy. Because that would have just made it a lot easier. I'm going to do what I'm trying to do now. I'll put it in my ring clamp. See if that helps. So I'm going to remelt that one. You guys see? No, probably not. Shitty view. Whatever. You get the gist. I'm trying to cut this out. Give me a second. I'll cut it out quick. There. A little bit of extra silver that wasn't supposed to be there. It's gone. So I got my little grenade. Sandcast 999 fine silver. Turned out pretty good. Happy about that. Just got to do some file work and some final polish. Oh, should we cut this guy's head? Let's get this guy. This guy I want to leave enough material where I can polish his head to a nice chrome dome. Chrome dome. Getting there. Halfway. There, we got her. There. Oh, it looks like he's got like a Mr. T hairdo almost. I pity the fool. Yeah. Yeah, I could keep that on there. Give him a little ducktail. Nah. That's no fun. And some of these like little vent things you don't even have to cut off. If you get close enough to the bottom, you can just kind of twist them. And then just a little file work after that. And I just break them off and put them back in that crucible. I know smoking is bad, but I could go for a cigarette right now. Would you guys want to go outside while I have a cigarette break? Probably not, but we might be doing that anyway. So, like I said, I got this guy pretty much, I'll just have to clean this up with the file, clean some of this stuff up, maybe toss him in the tumbler. We will see, we'll see. What else we got to cut apart here? Got the old Coke. Take off some of these little vent overflows. This one's a little thicker. I think we'll get her though. Oh yeah. Except I missed my crucible like a dummy. So that's why we cut vents in, so that extra gas can escape while we're pouring. Whilst we're pouring. 8 viewers. What's up, my 8 viewers? I got 5 likes. Ooh, you guys are awesome. If you're here and you haven't liked it yet, feel free to give me a like. That might be pretty sweet. Maybe get me some other viewers. Right? You know, if you guys want to see any of my finished work, you can check out my Instagram. Same handle, TheOriginalBMB. And those are just my initials. So, you know, the one side of this didn't turn out too bad. You can tell it's a little Coke bottle. I'm happy with that. But let's cut the sprue off now. A little more lube. Lube it up. See if I can't get it so you guys can kind of watch. I don't know. Can you zoom in on this? Oh, nice. You can. All right. I'm at a weird angle. I'm probably blocking it with my hat. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. But I just kind of want you to see the gist. Getting close. You can hear it. Beautiful. So there we got a little Coke. Y'all want to sniff a little Coke? He's got jokes. Oh, we got the headphones here now. I'm liking these. You know, it's a little, like I said, there's some thin spots on here. So by the time the silver makes it through these thin spots, it really cools off quickly, and you can tell that because in these thicker spots, you got these pore lines, cooling lines. But it worked, so I'm happy. I can clean those up with some sandpaper. Alrighty. Alright, now we got a couple more here. Beautiful. Okay, now we'll cut the sprue off of this bad boy. Probably not going to give you a view. You saw the last one. I think my blade's gonna break pretty soon. Getting a little dull. Ooh. Now that was a wider sprue because it's narrower and I wanted more metal to flow into it. It took a little longer to cut apart. There, my thumb's rocking. All right, what else we got here? The mushroom. The Mushroom Man. Get off some of that flashing. So this is the one I had trouble with separating the mold, but it really turned out quite nice. Even has some negative space in here, which that's why I had issues, but it turned out pretty good. Happy with it. Little inclusion there, but it's in a good spot. It'll look like a natural tear on the mushroom. So yeah, let's cut this sprue off now. Last but not least, we'll see if this dull blade lasts for another cut. My bet is it does not make it through this whole thing. That is my bet. Alright, how's the best way to hold this fucker? Effer, screwer, guy. Sorry, pardon my language. Oh, if you could see my face right now. I don't know why. You just make weird faces when you saw. Or maybe it's just me. I might have to get a new blade. We're getting close. We're getting close. Hey, hey. So there is a little hole there on the bottom. Sometimes that'll happen. A little air gets in there, you know. I don't know if it could have needed more venting or what, but to me, still a successful cast. Be a nice polished mushroom on a shelf one day. I actually had a different one that I recently just sold to a good friend. Yeah, just getting a couple things out of there. Well, there's the sprue cutting with me. Now all this stuff can be remelted into some goodness. I still have all this goodness too. All to be melted into little trinkets. Yeah, so thank you guys for keeping up with me, sticking with me, watching me make some goodies. Like I said, this is what we made tonight. Made that alien guy. Nice little butt on him. What in the butt? Made this little grenade. Turned out pretty good. Still got to clean it up. All this stuff I still got to clean up, but the Coke bottle. sniffing coke. As you saw, the mushroom. Cute little thing. And the headphones. So, yeah, now the fun work starts. You know, all the file work, all the polishing. But I don't know, maybe I'll make a few more things before I get around to that. You know, get them all nice and shiny like this. It'll be even shinier. You'll be able to see a reflection when I'm done with it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep this as a bottle, or should I make it into a necklace? Maybe. Because it did turn out pretty good. I might just make a little stand-up trinket. So, yeah, I don't know. I think 2 hours and 15 minutes, you know, you guys got to spend some time watching me make some molds and pour some metal. I think I'm going to go take a break. Whether I pop back on tonight or not, I'm not sure. But if you enjoyed, feel free to follow me, subscribe, whatever it is, like. And we will talk to your beautiful peoples later. Well, I guess I could show you. Here's a couple other things I've made in the past. Here's a little just alien head. I think he's like 12 grams or something. Got some stamps on there. My initials, 999. We got the little cinder blocks. These are pretty cute. I think these are 18 grams. I've made this little Kool-Aid man. I used a gummy. They have Kool-Aid gummies, so I used that to sandcast. Oh yeah. And I have more stuff upstairs. I have more stuff I just sold. But yeah, just fun. You know, I believe these are more fun to look at than these. But these are still fun too. Having a box full of these is fun. But melting them is fun as well. Once again, appreciate you guys. Got sweaty hands. Peace out. Have a great week. And yeah, if you're in America, happy 4th of July week coming up here. And we will talk to you all later. Cheers.